but it's a risk versus rewards type of scenario. But for now, get over there, mine, enjoy. But I will say the rocks in the Court Azul area do not yield in terms of the amount of times you can mine those rocks as much as, say, the other rocks found throughout the island. All right. I also added some new ambient audio over there as well, which is good stuff. We improved some of the audio emitters in the world. Wind, everything sounds a little bit better, improved, so it's good. General fixes, start areas have been visually revamped. So I went in and made some changes to the start area, revamping them. So if you guys start a new world, you'll see these changes. It's kind of cool. You'll also see that I added campfires in the world. They're on, so new players, very new players, have a place to kind of start from. And this is all part of my ongoing plan to ease players into the experience. Now, I still want to keep Savage Lands very brutal. I still want to kick your butt because I love doing that. But there are some things I want to do early on when players start to kind of ease them in before I start kicking their butt. I think you guys can appreciate that. Let's see. Spawn areas have been rebalanced. So things that kind of spawn in those areas. There's a new drop in the game called Everwood. So I'm not going to tell you guys what that does, but good luck finding it. I've added some new runes near Helion. The Golden Reaver has been renamed to the Sundered Oathblade. Item spawners and camps have been revamped, so I actually tweaked a lot of the town spawners, item spawners, and all the camps throughout the world to produce items that make sense, you know, kind of based on progression of where I think you're at in the island and you're making your way to the other side. So a lot of cool stuff there. Fixed a bug with one of the Argos spawners. Hopefully you guys, I'm hoping nobody abuses, but one of the spawners was spawning multiple items simultaneously. So you may have gotten 3 or 4 bags per drop in this particular spawner, but it's been fixed. Let's see, wood log decay timer. I now fixed it. It's 40 minutes. It's in line with all the other spawners. Frostfern stone, frostfern stone, and other items. And wood logs now properly cast shadows. They weren't casting shadows before. I know. Whew, major fix. We're on to decay phase 2, which means stone, flint, human skull, sinew now decay after 40 minutes. And that again, we're not doing that to punish you guys in any way. It's more of a performance thing than anything else because we got to remove objects from the world so we can make sure that the game is running at an optimal frame rate. I think you guys can appreciate that. I increased, you guys will love this, I increased the stone stack sizes from 15 to 25. That's always good. I revamped the Vec and Befallen areas, so the whole towns have been redone. Fleshbound hammer mining efficiency, I increased that from 3 to 4. The Fleshbound hammer is now the best hammer in the game to mine items. Axes can now mine rocks. So basic primitive axes all the way up to some of the higher end axes, you can now mine rocks using those, but it takes a lot of hits. Again, I did this for the newer players in the event that you get stuck, you know, because I was reading a lot of reports and I've watched a few players, new players, friends of mine play the game and watched them fall into interesting situations. So I went ahead and added that. I know some of the long-term players are going to be like, what are you doing? Trust me, it's there. It's kind of like an emergency option that you can take a crude axe, for example, hit one of the small stones, and after 10 hits, you'll get a rock. It's very, I'm not trying to imbalance the game, but it's something, in my opinion, that needed to be done. Lycor, Helion, Ragnarok, and Draymar have had their health increased by 15%. Have fun with that, boys and girls. So, with that, Chloe, good stuff. Oh, can I tell you guys, hopefully, if all goes well in the next update, game update number 15, right, Chloe?
Yes, 15.
All right, game update 15, we should have the character customizer online.
Ooh,
and if I can get my act together, the current counter might be online as well. Ooh, it's crazy. All right, so will we be able to...
Go ahead.
Are you reading chat, Chloe?
I am. I'm actually responding to chat, too. And I saw Ranojin's question about whether we were going to be able to make slingshots or not, but I was going to save that until we got to the question side, because I know there's more stuff that you wanted to talk about with 15.
Yes. So, as I mentioned, character customizer and the current counter are all looking good to potentially make it in that update. Dedicated servers could. Again, it's been it's a very complicated process. Function or process, a system that we had to code from the ground up because Unity has terrible networking back end. And unfortunately, we're not piggybacking off of, say, of Arma or Source or Unreal for that matter, which have better multiplayer options than Unity does. And I'm not saying Unity is a bad tool in any way. I'm just saying for what we're doing, the functionality that exists within Unity is not conducive to what we want. So we had to redo it from scratch. With that, can I show you guys something really cool that we've been working on? I'm itching to show you. Mind you, very primitive state, and primitive is like the best possible word I can use to describe it. But I'm really excited to show you.
We managed to do something that is the start of something else. How about that?
Yes.
This is not how it's going to look. This is not the only part to it. It's part one.
I got a lot of work to do over the weekend because I work on, by the way, guys, I work on Savage over the weekends when I get free time. I'm always doing and tinkering and doing stuff. That's because I love the game so much. One of those designers that tinkers and will continue to tinker with it until I feel it's perfected. But the irony of it is it will never be perfected. So it could go on forever in my mind. But with that said, I got something really cool to show you, and props goes to the code team for this because I can't take much credit other than giving them a little feedback every now and then. But John did an amazing job setting this up so that I could show you guys today. Along with our audio team, Brian did a great job, get some really good audio in. So with that, let me go ahead and give you a sneak peek of what's to come.
Indeed.
Hold on. I'm running in the editor, guys, so things are going to run a little choppy. This is not my normal machine. I had to preface that, Chloe. Sorry.
Yes, no, that's fair. The stream machine is built for streaming optimization. It is not built for things like Unity optimization or Maya optimization. The other programs that we've dumped on it when we, sort of lift the hood and give you guys the additional look behind the scenes of what we're looking at it. So no, this is not how it's going to look when it is in the actual released game. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why you were summoned here today. I used that language very specifically when Chris told me that he was going to be able to do it, and hopefully I did not let the out of the bag.
Indeed. All right, so obviously it's something big. All right, what is this? Mind you, temporary stuff. We're going to retweak some of the art, but...
Better question is, where is this?
I'm not saying.
You can kind of, sort of get an idea by... Well, I'm just saying, you'll be able to see it in a second, right?
Uh-oh. Hey, what's up, buddy?
We just wandered into the room to ruin your...
So, obviously, ill-equipped for the battle, but nonetheless, pretty cool. I'll show it one more time. Again, very primitive, very basic setup right now. I did this so I could show you guys in the stream. All right. I will greatly massage the area, but I've carved out where I want the encounter to take place. Now I'm going to beautify it, add in the right props. Corbett's going to take a look at the summoning prop, but I'm not going to give you guys really any details on how to engage Kerr in this encounter. I want everybody to figure it out. But I will say there are two things that you will need to bring Kerr to you. I probably just gave one of them away. Because he will not forget the blade that wounded him.
Where did Lycor actually strike?
Hold on, Chloe.
Well,
I'm summoning him again.
Okay, oh, fine.
All right.
And he comes in.
Flies in. What's really cool is when you're fighting him, his fire breath goes so far. You'll see the forest catch on fire. It's pretty awesome. He also has a variety of other attacks as well. So when you get up close and melee, I mean, I'll be honest in saying you're not going to be able to take Kerr by yourself. It's as simple as that.
Nor should you. I mean, realistically, nor should you be able to. I mean, that's a very large dragon.
And
Lycor, who was at the top of his game and probably had gear that we don't even see in the world yet, he got his ass kicked.
The Furies that assaulted Kerr first on did a good job. That's why, I mentioned, I gave away one of the items, and you guys see it in the stream, but, he won't forget the blade that wounded him, the Sundered Oath blade. So you will need to have 2 items on you to summon Kerr. I won't say what the other item is. But once we get it in, it may be 3. I don't know. We'll see where I'm at. I may get crazy, tweak things, but he will be an epic encounter. Indeed. So with that, there you go, guys. I wanted to give you a taste of some work in progress that's been happening, and I'm pretty happy with it.
First look.
Team did a great job getting it together. So now it's up to me to get it in there and make it fun. All right, so I'm going to shut down.
No pressure or anything, or
fatal error. I just annihilated Unity.
Did you just kill it from the menu?
Oh yeah, I'm getting multiple.
All right, so while Chris unerrors the computer,
I was hoping it would go a bit more smoothly and I could transition to the game, but naturally no.
Never. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is the first look at what the Kerr encounter will look like. Obviously, as we said, this is a rough first pass. Chris has an idea of where and what you see other than the dragon, because those are his graphics. The gong isn't entirely specced out. The area is not entirely specced out. This is a work in progress. But that is one of the things that we do with you guys, is we show you as we go along. You get to see our rough to our better to our best, and then you get to see our final release at some point in the future when all of these good pieces and fun things are in there. So welcome to the Savage bus ride. It's been an interesting one so far.
Yep.
So
hopefully people have been having fun. I mean, we've been giving a lot of updates. I read a lot of reviews, as many as you guys know, as many of you know from previous streams. I love to read every review. I try to respond to every review for the game. Most of the time, it's me inquiring about, if somebody had an issue like, this game is poop. Well, why is it poop? What are the issues that you had? I would like to, as a developer, try to hone the game out in such a way that, a lot of people can play it. Now, I will say, people love Savage. There are players out there that love Savage Lands. There are players out there that like Savage Lands. And, of course, there's going to be players that just don't like the game at all. And you know what? In my 20 years of making games, that is always the case with every single game that I've ever worked on. It's just how it is. But I would like to better the experience in many ways that, maybe there's a feedback that a player has that didn't like the game that would benefit the greater good of all of the community. So, I love getting that information. So again, I'm going to throw up, when you post up a review, if you guys are new watching the stream, please just make sure you give me feedback. Pros and cons are always great. And hopefully we are meeting and exceeding expectations when it comes to our game updates. I know a lot of people are always skeptical about early access games, right, Chloe? I mean,
oh yes, of course.
Just getting your bags of money and running. We haven't done that. We're here every week. We're in front of you, the community, telling you what's going on, and we have committed to finishing out the game, and you guys, hopefully that's very apparent in the updates that we have delivered with, and the updates we will continue to deliver with the game. Now, there may be some times when we're at a 2-week interval now, which works well for us. As you guys see, the updates are relatively meaty. Hopefully, if we're going to miss a patch update, we'll let you know. We'll definitely keep you in the loop. We won't tell you that blow smoke you know, you blow smoke. But
we won't allow Kerr to blow smoke up anything.
There
we go.
Thanks, Chloe.
You're welcome.
Nonetheless, I just want to thank everybody for the feedback. Keep it coming. I'll mention it now, and I'll also mention it at the end of the stream. We're going to be doing a midweek madness with Steam next week.
Yeah.
Valve is they want to put Savage Lands in a sale that they're doing next week. The game will be 60% off.
Yep.
So, that's as of today. Now, if Valve decides to change it, they could change it, but that's what we're shooting for. So, if you haven't bought the game yet, next week, starting on Tuesday, 10 a.m., could be a great time.
And we are doing some longer streams next week because of it. We've got 2-hour streams, as well as directly after that, due to scheduling, I'm gonna be streaming for like 3 hours every day because we're gonna go directly into War Chest streams right after this. So we'll have more information about that. If you guys have been following one of the other games that Signal Studios works on, I'm just going to take a moment to plug while Chris gets ready to actually go play with you guys, and we'll get into questions. We have been working at Signal Studios on another game with Ubisoft, and it is one of our flagship IPs, and that is Toy Soldiers War Chest. This is the 3rd iteration in that series, and we have finally announced that it's going to be releasing on August 11th. It's going to be available for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and it's actually the first time it's going to be on all 3 at launch, and the first time it's going to be on PlayStation, period. So it's actually kind of a big deal for not only us here, because we're going to be streaming it a bunch, but also just the studio, because it's really cool when you get to do that kind of stuff. So, if you are interested or want to find out more, we will be doing a whole bunch of streams next week. I think we actually have them every single day at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Please don't quote me on that yet. We are still planning, but there will be details up. So, if you want to come and join us on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for Savage Lands, we encourage you to stick around afterwards because we've got another game that we're going to be showing off, which is really awesome, and everybody at the studio is so excited about it. So
it's a super killer game. Cobra, G.I. Joe, He-Man. I mean, come on, that's
and Ezio.
And Ezio from Assassin's Creed.
My Italian dude who is awesome.
Hey, everybody! Hey, I'm Ezio. It's some spaghetti. No. All right. So anyway, I am in game. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to run down the beach. We're going to make our way towards the Helion spawn. But because I have all sorts of cool stuff now in the level and I can find things much easier, you guys can find things much easier. We're going to run down the beach. So we're going to meet up. I'm going to run down to the Twin Peaks here. And I'll also be giving away stuff as well. So I promise you that today's stream will go much more smoothly. By the way, before I get started, people have asked me again, what are the settings you use from a visual standpoint? Well, let me show you guys.
Okay. Well, wait, stop, hold on. Let's do a game giveaway.
Oh, game giveaway.
So, while you give me a keyword.
Campfire.
Campfire, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the keyword for a copy of Savage Lands is campfire. I will let you know that if you are following the channel, there is a slightly better percentage for you to actually get it. I don't know how that works, but it is though true. So, yes. Point being, if you follow the channel, you do have a slightly higher chance of actually getting it. Keyword is campfire. There are no caps. Thankfully, it's only one word, so I don't have to go through that whole shebang. But yes. All right, Chris, what is your settings? We'll let that sit for a few moments and people gather.
Hold on, let me make sure that the game is open to everyone. Just making sure all those settings are in place. We're good. So anybody can join the game now. It should be up. We're going to make our way towards the Helion spawn. As we do that, though, I can kind of talk about some of the stuff. We'll also stop. We'll stop at Vec along the way. We'll do some sightseeing. Yes, you should stop
at Vec and actually point out to Jamie, randomized user who may or may not be in the chat, what changes you actually made to Vec. Because he went through in one of his most recent videos and couldn't figure out what you had changed.
Maybe the change is only in my mind. having laid out all the villages in the game. I'll go through it, and the layout is.
Layout's
maybe
the same.
it's very subtle. In my mind, it wasn't subtle because I moved a lot of stuff around. But
well, this is my point. This is my point. Highlight what you did so Jamie doesn't think he's crazy, or prove that you are crazy. I'm just saying.
I'm probably crazy.
Okay. I am going to. Oh, hey, hi Jamie. You are actually here. See, I pay attention to your videos, and I was like, might want to explain this one.
So everybody, we're going to meet at Twin Peaks down here at the. We're making our way there. Everybody will group up, and then we'll run. We'll run along the beach. We'll stop at Vec, and then we're going to gun up towards the Helion spawn. What time is it? 1:30. I think we could do it in about 15 minutes if we stay on the beach. All right. I need some Spirit Wolf boots.
Well, gee, wouldn't that be such a fantastic thing to add?
Or are they there?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Are they?
Huh.
What is it that a Spirit Wolf is going to drop?
Right now they drop Spirit Shard.
No, I know, but what is it, a specific item that they'll drop that will allow you to do that, or will you allow, or will it be that you add them?
They'll drop specialized pelts, or kind of like an ethereal type of spirit pelt that you can then craft into something epic.
All right.
All right. So while we wait for everybody to join and meet up, let's see. We got a good group of guys here. Hold on. Since I'm going to sport, the Flesh Ripper, because that's what I do. All right. So we'll wait for a few people. Let me show you guys the settings I use at home. I have a quad core, again, a Phenom 955. It's a quad core, 5-year-old processor. It's pretty good. But, this is what I use when I'm at home. After I get done doing dev here at Signal, I go home and I play the game because I like to play all the stuff that I did and see how it kind of meshes in the world. So I play on kind of a normal machine. You could say almost a dated machine, but nonetheless, it still plays really well, and I get 60 plus frames a second. So on my machine, I usually play in window mode. I played at 16 by 9. I always set my texture detail to good, and that works out really well. Usually I lose a little bit of frame rate when I go to Fantastic. Now here on one of our machines that has a 980 GTX, I can run at the optimal details, and I'm running at like 80 frames a second, which is insane. I just leave my anti-aliasing at the normal default FX AA3. My draw distance I usually set to high. Geometry I keep it Fantastic. This is a big one right here, water. I usually drop it from Fantastic to beautiful, and then I keep my shader quality at Fantastic. And then of course you can see my shadow quality here, hard and soft, and I keep it at 2 cascades with a draw distance of high. But I also turn off VSync and SSAO, which gives me a lot of frame rate back. SSAO is kind of a, it does some nice, I don't see a value in it. But nonetheless, some people love it. Some games really take advantage of it. Turning it off will gain you easily 5 frames a second back. VSync, obviously it's tied to your refresh rate of your monitor, so I'll leave that up to you. But this is what I use. I get 60 plus frames a second. Game looks amazing, and I have a really enjoyable experience. So how's that? We good?
I think so, and I have chosen the winners for our first set today. So congratulations to Twitchy Samurai, WereCon, Dead Lily, and 3D Pixels. Please, guys, after the stream, make sure you message me your Twitch names, or sorry, message me from your Twitch accounts, and Moobot will drop a link that you can do that very easily with very shortly into chat. So just go ahead and click that. So once again, congratulations to the 4 of you. That will not be the only game giveaway that we do today, but congratulations.
Yeah, Chloe's not stingy. She loves giving the game away.
Well, you like giving away the game too.
I love giving away stuff. That's why I have bags here that I'll give away at the end to anybody that needs them. I like giving away goodies to those guys. If you come running up naked, obviously I'll give you a bag right away, because that's you can't go fight
and
without.
Speaking
goods.
of giving away free stuff, if you guys are interested in potentially picking up a free Signal t-shirt, you guys should check out the art contest that we are currently running, that we saw the adorable Hugabug entry for last week on stream. And there is a creature in the Savage Lands called the Thunder Chirper, and that's the thing that comes out at night to let you know that it's nighttime, that it is really, truly nighttime. They are incessantly chirping all night long, which, if I lived on the Thunderdial, would drive me up the flippin' wall. So, we want to see what you guys think what that looks like. And Chris, that does mean that you have to get drawing too, because I want to see what your version of the Thunder Chirper looks like. Now, you can...
Can I use Visio or some other type of tool that allows me to just put objects together? I can't draw. I'm terrible.
It doesn't matter how you get us or what format in which you create your item, your entry, I should say. It can be hand-drawn and then scanned, or it can be done in Photoshop, or some combination there of the two. We just want to see what crawls out of your imagination in whatever form it takes to see what this creature might look like. So we do have that open until August 13th, so maybe if we have some physical drawings next week, we can show them off during the streams. I'm going to try and do one for that. But yeah, and the best entries, the ones that we like the most, will win Signal t-shirts. Sizing availability is a little limited just because it's whatever we have, but it's the t-shirt that you'll see me wearing on stream very frequently with our logo on it in the center in black. So that is the t-shirt that we are giving away. And yes, all right, on to whatever it is that you are going to go do. And I will start asking you questions if that's okay.
You may start asking questions. We are waiting for Space. All right, we got one person that's lag. Oh, Space is here. No, Space is running. Space, we're gonna have to go. I hate to leave, but we're gonna have to. I'm sorry, we got one straggler. So we might have to just start running. Space. It looks like you're moving. You're moving fast. I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we got to roll. We got a ragtag band of adventurers here. Some oldies. Poffus. We got Vertigo Beast here. We got, I hope I say this, Vivet, Old Glory, Arendor. We're just waiting on Space. Randomized users here.
You messed up Aries' name again.
I always do it. I'm sorry, guys. Really, just give it. I'm not good with names. I'm terrible. All right, Space is here. Almost here. He's jumping. Hopefully the game, hopefully you guys see some frame rate improvements. I'm hoping. I mean, I feel it on this machine already. So.
Okay.
Is it Arendor? How do you pronounce it? Can you just?
He'll put it in chat. I actually
put it in chat for me so I can say it properly.
YouTube somewhere because I went back.
I'm so sorry.
For like a week trying to figure it out myself. Okay. So, questions.
All right.
Questions.
All right, everybody's here, guys. We're moving. We're going to run along the beach, so luckily we can't get lost because we can see everybody's name tag. All right, let's roll. All right.
So, a very common question that we get that we will start off with. And folks, if
Arendor.
you did ask... There you go. See? If you did ask me a question before we did the giveaway, please make sure you repost it because there were a bunch that I saw that have been eaten by stream or Twitch chats truncation, so make sure you re-ask those. So Lycos Azrael has asked, are there plans to make a map or constructible map in Savage Lands? Oldie but a goodie. Because your opinion has slowly been changing on this.
It's like I keep getting chipped away at that one, and I don't want to do it. At the same time, as a designer, I understand. So there, I want to keep the game, in a way that players kind of they kind of figure things out. A lot of it relies on us, tuning the environment so more areas are recognizable to the player, adding in more unique landmarks in the world, and I think that would help out a ton. That's something we definitely have to do. But adding in a map, maybe, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I guess if there's an write Revolt, I might cave on it. But right now, I'd like, the community has done a great job of putting maps together. I think they need to make sure that everything's updated. But there's no plans at this time.
It is something that we definitely pay attention to.
It's a little ruin area.
And one of the things that we are more intent on doing is not just placing big navigational, like a rock pillar, for example, is also eventually to give you guys something that you can build that has directions on it, or that you can place in such a way to sort of make paths and stuff like that.
What I don't want to do, guys, is I want to keep Savage a very brutal survival experience. Now, that doesn't mean I can't make the initial kind of you get started in the world a little bit easier, but in general, as you play out, the idea is that the progression comes from the armor and the weapons that you craft to better yourself as an individual in this harsh environment, and ultimately take on some of these more epic NPCs. So, I don't want to turn the game into something, like WoW, but I enjoy WoW. I thought WoW was, WoW's a great game, but I want to keep it that survival. You got it, it's this fight to survive type of experience. You're looking for the resources you need to stay alive in this world because this world is so hostile. As we're running along, there's another ruined area in the world. This is burned out house. Somebody that was very unfortunate. So anyway, as we keep going here, as your tour guide through the Savage Lands. But, we'll see. The game, I've kind of, I never said I would add stacking to trees, by the way. We can stack logs, sorry. You can stack logs now, which is, we went from 1 to 2. Woo! That one.
Although, you did up in the most recent update, 14 that went live today, you did up stone stacks from 15 to 25.
I did.
So
absolutely. So
call that out.
I make tweaks here and there where it makes sense. So we'll see as the game evolves. It might make sense in 6 months from now that we add in a map. But right now, I still want to keep it incredibly brutal. You figure things out, and I think players like that experience. It's what adds to the whole kind of survival concept. Mm-hmm. Now there are things. I've seen a couple comments. Well, why does stuff flash in the game? Well, that flashing is there. Normally for the majority of players. A lot of hardcore players can kind of figure stuff out. Oh, there's an object lying on the ground. I'll go try and pick that up. But flashing is a great mechanism that's been around for many, many, many ages now from a game development standpoint. It's just a great tool to have to inform players, hey, you can pick this up and this is something that's usable. I know some players will say this takes you out of the experience, but in my mind, especially in a world where things kind of blend in together, I want to make sure that we call out the items that you can definitely interact with and pick up and put in your inventory. I think it's helpful. So it's something I don't want to sacrifice. So we're almost here at Vec. And you'll know when you're at Vec. It's actually one of the few towns very close to the water, almost right on the water. Those two stones definitely signify it from the start areas. We run up. We'll see here. Now we've entered the new remodeled version of Vec. I've added in larger stone crops that you'll find in the area. The houses have been they've been laid out now in a more kind of uniform fashion, not so haphazard.
More of a village?
It's more like a village in town now. The town hall is, you can see it's kind of faces the center here, and these houses kind of line up accordingly. So in terms of is it a major revamp? There's brand new structures. Not necessarily. It's more so in the form of its layout has kind of changed to be a little bit more organized, if you will, more of what you would expect from a town in the game. Of course, here I'll call out something that I missed. Ding dong. Ding dong. I actually forgot to move that closer to the structure there. So there you can see a designer messing up, not doing world building right, and I left the prop out in the middle of the road. And of course, I could hear it. Why didn't you check your work? Yeah. All right.
Wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, you were waiting. I know you were waiting for it, Chloe. You're like, check your work. So, so this is Vec. It's burned out. This is where Lycor is from. It's just been utterly destroyed by Kerr.
Question. Was
Yes.
Vec destroyed by Kerr before or after Lycor attacked them?
After Lycor attacked.
So in retribution?
Pretty much.
Okay, that's fair. I have another question for you.
All right,
you
we're going to
ready?
head down towards the water, guys. So if you're watching the stream, I'm going to head down towards these rocks so that we can continue our journey
All right.
towards the helium spawn.
So, Amazing has asked when we might see some of the magic for Savage Land. Now, we technically have already started to see one type of magic, and that is in the spirit orbs and the way that they function, where you are literally using part of the magical essence of the Sundered Isle itself,
Yes.
as he
So-
pulls one out to show him off.
The island itself is kind of imbued by magic. There's magic. The idea is that over time, magic will kind of be all around. You'll start to see it in the ruins of the world, the towers. Everything will kind of come alive. The spirit orbs kind of. There's going to be two types of magic. One is spirit magic, which you kind of capture in the orbs. You'll see that in the spirit wolves and the ghosts that kind of walk around. And then we'll kind of have more of that traditional magic where you can imbue your weapons with certain types of, elemental-based type functionality like fire, water. In this case, it would be kind of like ice, wind and earth is what I'm thinking right now. So, but that's kind of where I want to go. But the first bits of magic that you're seeing is all the spiritual aspects. It's spirit magic, essentially. I dig it. I actually like, and I'm going to do more of it because I dig that type of, it's just different. I want to create creatures in the world like the ghosts, like Draymar. In time, guys, you're seeing phase 1 of a lot of our stuff because it is early access.
Yep.
Draymar, I would like for you to only be able to attack with a specific type of weapon. A weapon that's infused with spirit magic that allows you to attack ethereal beings.
So just to actually capitalize on something that you just said,
All right.
early access for us literally means in the letter of how early access is written by Steam, it is a work in progress. This isn't a finished version of anything. We are very consistent in that even something that we think right now is finished, let's say Kerr's graphical look, could be slightly changed by the time we get to release. It's not done, it's not release candidate until we're ready to finish development. And if that means that it's going to take a while and we do phase upon phase upon phase, then that's the way that we're choosing to do it, to make sure that the experience that you guys have, both during our early access time as well as post early access when the game is actually released and done, and we're still supporting it for bugs, but the actual development is wrapped. That's our goal, is to make sure that you guys have an incredible experience and that you understand, honestly, a little bit about game development as we go. That's why we spend as much time talking about our plans, showing things, having Nate and maybe some of the other guys come on and talk about what we do, how we do, making funny, deer do funny dance moves in animation skeletons and that kind of stuff. It's part of our process, so we want you guys to understand that. We're working on it. That's all there is to it.
The game's in development, like Chloe said, the game's in development. And you guys have heard me. Some of you old schoolers have been on a long time. I love early access. I'm constantly changing things, as many of you guys know. I'm always tweaking stuff. Things always change. That's just that's early access. That's kind of the idea behind early access. You're kind of committing to this whole process of development and seeing this idea come to fruition. And when you get behind a good developer that's committed to building a great game, you'll see that. I would love for Savage Lands to come out of early access within a year from basically March. If we need to keep it in a little longer to bake, we will, especially if players are really digging what they see and they want to see more stuff. But in general, we're really trying hard to make sure that the game is constantly updated. I think 2 years in early access is a little long time, especially, between you and me. But 2 years, normally for a lot of games out there, like for example, I'll use my past experience. To build Command and Conquer, it took 2 years. And that was leveraging existing technology. To build Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth took 2 years. That was 100 guys. But to build another game I worked on, Star Wars Empire at War, it took 2 years, 25 guys. But, we are 6 guys and very talented developers, in my opinion. And I would like to see Savage come out of early access in 2 years from a year from now. But we'll see how it goes. But early access is a great time to be part of the experience for you as individuals, as community members, as new players coming into the game to voice what you'd like to see. I am, as a developer, I'm very open to new ideas. I will fully admit, I don't have all the, we got the game out there. You guys, chances are you guys have way better ideas than I do.
And there's definitely times where, you guys will ask for something and it gets highlighted during my weekly report to Chris and the rest of the team. And they can sit down and go, I didn't think of doing it that way. Let's see if that's something that we can incorporate. I should say. So, next question? You good? Yes? No?
Maces, flails, warhammers. This is at Greg. Yeah, I mean, we have some new weapons that I haven't put into the loot pipeline. We actually have 10 new weapons that I haven't seeded into the game yet. Some of those are maces, and one of those is a flail. The other one is Kerr's Rage, which you'll get when it's actually crafted, but you'll require Kerr's Blood, a dragon tear, and some other things to craft. Of course, the sword is on fire. Who wouldn't want a sword that's on fire? Which would be
Flaming Sword of Justice!
All right, this is a long journey, boys and girls. Luckily here you got your tour guide, Chris Rubio, Uridium, leading you along the beach. But what I want to show you too is, I am going to be adding more stuff into these beaches as we move forward too. So you'll encounter lots of little cool camps. But if you want to make it to the Helion spawn in the game, I'm showing you the most passive route to take. There's a route that is wrought with danger, and then there is the route that takes you along the shore that is less hostile.
And
it's like going. It's like you could.
Or less likely that Chris will get himself lost and or killed.
Chloe, how dare you?
Speak the truth.
How dare you? That's funny, Chloe. All right, so.
Tee-hee.
Yeah, tee-hee-hee-hee. It's yes, Grog. It's actually a big world, but according to some reviews, they've managed to go through it within a matter of 30 minutes. But it's huge. There's a lot of things in the world, and many of the guys that have played the game for guys and gals that have played the game for a long time can tell you there's a lot. Some areas, it's one of those games where you have to explore to find the unique things in the world. I just don't create a map saying, "Oh, you've got a quest, go here." That's not how Savage Lands work. It's really big, and there's a lot of cool stuff.
A sandbox game, in part, is set up so that a true one, right, like we have right now, where there is no point A to point B, there is no end goal. There is some content that is not yet in the game. We readily admit that. But the point of a sandbox game is that you can go anywhere, do anything, believe anything, make this world your own to some extent. And yes, we have some lore that is slowly being baked into the game. You can see it in the journal entries in both the bestiary. You can see it in comments about some of the named blades, like the Thunder Nose blade, the Grey Reaver, etc. But the cool thing about it is you can walk into an area that's been burned out, and say, for example, you're talking about the burned out hut that Chris and the gang walked past when they left the starting beach area. And you can imagine what that characters or the inhabitants of that building used to be. Were they fishermen? Were they retirees that had decided that they wanted to go live seaside? You know, there are endless possibilities. And in this way, you can put your own mark on the Sundered Isle in a way that most games don't allow you to do, because they have scripted interactions with NPCs. And that's not for everybody. That's not to say that we won't have bits of lore put into the game. That is on the list of things to do at some point. But right now, the Sundered Isle is there for you to dream in and play and experience in a different way than most games allow you to sort of take ownership of the areas that you're building in. So I, for one, kind of really like that aspect of it. It's something that's unique in the world of gaming as we know it right now.
Yeah. If I may chime in, Chloe.
Please do.
As a game developer, especially the creative behind Savage Lands, you know, it is a sandbox fantasy open world survival game. And it's a mouthful to say, but the idea is that you create your own experiences. You kind of immerse yourself in this world and visualize. You know, when you come across a giant dragon statue like this and go, what does that even mean? You know, who is this dragon? What is this place? What is this world? That's what I want players to, you know, to make up in their minds the story, what happened in this world, how it, you know, how the inhabitants of this island were twisted and defiled to serve the will of this dragon. That's what I want you to kind of create in your mind. We seed the world with these little bits, and then you create the stories. That's what, you know, which is, for me, normally a lot of scripted games that I've worked on, we kind of tell you the story. This is one of those games where, you know, kind of like the old school MMOs of long since past, where you run across these cool things. So we got a torchbearer. All right, Vertigo. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I almost forgot, Chloe. We got to have a torchbearer in every stream, and I didn't even call that out.
Well done, Chris. Well
but
done.
you run across these cool things and think, man, what happened? How did this statue get erected? And what is this place? That's what I want you as gamers to kind of think about. And then, of course, adventure with other players. And then once we get dedicated servers, we'll have big, you know, where more players are in. You can fight each other for the various resources across the island and beat each other up. Or play cooperatively. Set up a server that's fully dedicated to players working together. Like in this case, when you work together as a player base, you can see each other from anywhere across the island. You can always find your friends, which I think is an amazing feature to have. So here we are, this dragon statue, by the way, guys. We're almost to the Helion spawn. We got about another 5 minutes. And I'll show you, once we get to we're running across the beach, there's a marker to let you know when you're close to the Helion spawn, because the ruins that surround the Helion spawn are pretty much all kind of very similar. So I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, hopefully I didn't go into too much there. We, as a developer, I like create Savage Lands. For me, is a great way to create these really cool experiences and allow, you know, and create this world that allows you to create these cool stories and walk away from and have fun and tell your friends about, yeah, I was adventuring in this place that kicked my butt. I died 40 times, but boy, I'm having a ton of fun. That always cracks me up, by the way. It's like I've died 10 times. One thing about Savage Lands, if you're new to the stream, please don't just pick up your axe and run into the game and play the game like it's God of War, because it's not. It's God of War will be in the hands of the creatures that kill you. You want to make sure that you are very mindful of how you adventure deeper into the wilderness. And our community, our amazing community, has created some awesome guides. So if you go to the Steam forums and go into the community section, there's amazing guides that tell you how to get started. And I would advise you follow those guides, because they are great. And a lot of videos that are great that walk you through the world. Just don't pick up your axe and expect to go and kill stuff, because a wolf, even the pigs in the game, will kill you.
Yep.
They're pretty brutal.
Especially if you don't have armor on, because let's see, boar tusk versus skin. guess which one's going to win.
Yeah.
All right. More questions.
So, for those of you new to the stream, I did mention earlier on, we do have a sale going on next week. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not picking up the game, we'll be in a Steam, a Valve midweek madness sale, I guess that's what they call it. And the game will be heavily discounted. So it'll be a great opportunity to pick up a copy for you or pick up a 4-pack. The 4-packs will be definitely in a good, reasonable range so you and your friends can play together.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have 2 questions that I want to get asked. We are almost done the stream.
Well, we'll stay a little bit longer.
Go a little bit longer since you still haven't gotten any.
I'm gonna go an extra 30 minutes, guys. I actually cleared off my schedule today. I got a lot of stuff done. I am working on multiple projects now. That's why the beauty of being a game dev. But we got a lot of cool stuff in the works here at Signal. Pretty amazing stuff. So, and it's pretty cool to be part of that. But I will go. I cleared off my schedule so I can play an extra 30 minutes. With the fans. It is getting dark, which means that Helion will spawn soon. I want to make sure that somebody walks away with the ancient relic blades so that they can build the Grey Reaver.
Hopefully, yeah.
Somebody will build the... We will get Helion today! If not, then I'm sorry.
Question time!
No, Chloe. I'm done with questions. I just want to play.
Kitten Purr did actually get an answer in chat, but I want to highlight this for folks.
Okay.
Item decay. If I have a stack on me, do all of them decay at once, or is it 30 per minute?
So anything in your inventory, anything in a bag, will not decay. It's only stuff that's out in the world or stuff that's in your hand, if you're holding it, with the exception of like weapons. If you're holding meat in your hand, it will decay. But if you're not holding it in your hand and it's in your bag or in your inventory somewhere, it won't decay. Hopefully that makes sense. Or if it's dropped on the ground, it will decay. Does that make sense, guys? So just put stuff, or you can put it in a pine strong box, and it won't decay.
Yep. Bags and boxes and things are in your inventory, not in your hand. Don't decay. Okay. Next question from Zombie
I'm looking forward to us streaming next week, Chloe. You're going to be on site, right?
I am, yes. Which may or may not mean that we are in the new location for the stream room, depending on whether Josh does or does not come up.
That's a good point. All right, so
there are things that still need to be resolved.
Here we are, guys. We're coming across these ruins, and for those of you new and those of you old, these ruins now kind of signify what I like to call the Helion quadrant of the map. And I use a lot of stuff in the world as markers to kind of make my way. You know, obviously this used to be something, and the world of the world of the Sundered Isle, the waters have reclaimed this ancient structure that used to be here. Now, to make our way to the Helion spawn, you guys love how I do stuff. See this rock? Shabamo. Just follow it straight up. I'm so clever. I know Chloe's rolling her eyes, by the way. She's like, oh, gosh, this guy. So anyway, hopefully you guys got that. We're on our way to the Helion spawn. Helion drops the ancient relic blade, which is used to craft the Grey Reaver.
Indeed.
All right, Chloe, you've been silent. What happened?
You won't let me ask questions, so I don't have anything to say. All right. So Ramus has been trying to ask this for quite a while, and I assume I know the answer.
I'm not going to answer this one.
Is there going to be any impact with Windows 10? We don't foresee any trouble with that, because of course Windows 10 started dropping yesterday. Yeah, depending on whether you've updated or not today, you might already have it.
Everything should go well. We've tested it here on a couple machines, and it seems to work okay. But you know, if you guys upgrade, I would love to know if you have problems. I'm not going to say, yeah, it'll work great. I'm going to be skeptical because, you know...
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Chloe.
You're welcome.
I can't... Every PC is different. That's the beauty of developing for PC, is that every configuration is different unless you buy a specific HP or Dell that was built in such a way. But nonetheless... there are still issues. So, oh boy. Oh, and Helion's up. Yeah, engage. Look at this. Woohoo! I'm happy for you.
I can tell.
We got him. We get him. All right, everybody, focus all your firepower. All right. Now, what we do need in the game, I'm gonna. Oh, darn it! Am I getting attacked? Yeah.
You're all right. Hungry and starving.
All right, guys.
You
I wish we
haven't
had.
eaten at all
We don't have a
entire
random.
stream.
I'm gonna eat. Don't worry. There. Hopefully, you guys. There's one. We got Helion. He was there waiting for us, which is super awesome. All I ask is, as he spawns, if you guys already have an ancient relic blade, please, please, please share. All right, so let's hang out in the ruins.
All right.
I'll hang out till 2:30, Chloe.
All right, I do have at least one more question that I would like to get asked, and I'm sure that there are more. If you guys do have questions, now would be the time to be asking them, because Chris isn't focused on making sure he gets somewhere, so he might actually
What are you
answer
talking
a few
about?
more
We're at the
questions.
Helion spawn.
If you have questions for us, please make sure you @Signal Studio so that it pops up highlighted in my stream so I can ask. All right.
All right. Hold on, guys.
Zombie asked quite a while ago. Well,
all right, hold on to that question. Everybody that's here, let's get a campfire going. Let's set up camp, guys.
Does Kerr react or change his scouting path due to player activity? Building houses, cutting down trees, mining, etc.
Not necessarily, but Kerr is basically, his AI is kind of like the Skynet of AI. He's fully autonomous. How he moves in the world, when he detects you, when he doesn't, it's all very random. So he's not on some set waypoint path that he flies. So if he's flying over you, he may pick, in his algorithms, may pick you up and decide to attack you. But otherwise, I mean, that's done to make him feel very organic in how he moves. Basically, does the dragon want to kill you, or does the dragon not want to kill you? I mean, that's...
Did you actually get his changes in so he's left?
Yes, yeah.
That wasn't in the notes, so I didn't know.
Yes.
I never actually included that.
So when Kerr locks onto you, if you go inside a structure, I reduce the amount of time, what's called the search time, that he will aggro on you as a player. So, but you have to be in an enclosed facility like we're in Black Mesa. You have to be an enclosed structure like a stone house or a town hall to block his line of sight for that whole segment to break.
Mm-hmm. And you have to not duck in and out. Yeah, but he was also, was he specifically, he was specifically aggroing on dead player bodies for a long time. Did you change that part?
That should be reduced. If not.
If not, please let us know.
Yes.
Because obviously it was meant to.
Yes, I cannot, we can test it, and on our test passes, everything looks great. If not, well, that means we just got to fix it. Real world versus our test environment is usually, we like to think they're in parity, but sometimes they're not.
Yes, and sometimes what you change in dev really doesn't actually look the same when we actually go and put it into live. We've seen that repeatedly.
All right, so guys, here we are at the Helion spawn. So if you guys want to just, everything you see, kill it. Everything moving, kill it. The only one that should be standing around is me, not doing anything. I would say kill everything you see if you want to get Helion to spawn. I'll watch the beautiful sunset.
Okay, Old Glories, because you did ask about, or you did answer about new weapons, but not about this. Old Glory has asked, what is the likelihood of dual-wielding swords or other
It's very possible. We just got to get in the animations for dual-wielding. I'd love to have kind of short katanas, but we got to do a whole animation set dedicated to dual-wielding, so it looks really good.
Right now, there's no animations for a block. Your left hand, I'm looking at it going, which hand is this? Your left hand doesn't actually, other than raising up to look at something that you're holding in your hand, doesn't have any additional animations. So
No.
There's more coding and skeletal work that needs to be done.
Shields and blocking shields is something I would get in before I got into dual wielding, though.
That's fair. You know, having the ability to block against a Night Fury would be really nice.
As I turn on PvP. I don't think I would do that, Kitten Purr. I'm not, I mean, I enjoy PvP. It's great fun, but for these streams, I don't think everybody would want to. Well, I would probably be the first one to die because my head on a pike would be pretty awesome.
Well, exactly. There is some desire by some members of the community to have the entire dev teams on.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
I mean, it's not necessarily a, oh, I want to come and, you know, exact revenge on you. It's more of a collector's item.
Yeah.
I think my head only exists in two places. I'm pretty sure it's Sean and Cry have, no, two of our mods. Neither of whom are here today, actually, even though Cry's work schedule just changed and he said he was going to be able to make them. Anyway, point being, I do have another question for you.
Ask away, Chloe.
All right. Mercenary Gray is curious about an ETA on a new monster or animal being added to the game. We have talked a lot about the forest gremlins and of their various brethren because they're probably in the best and closest state to getting in, right?
Yes, they're very close. Just need a little bit of audio and...
we're still waiting on audio, right.
Yeah. So I just got to work with the audio team and we'll get something good in. All right.
Poor Ben.
I'm going to give up some food here.
All right, so... Still an ETA, or an unknown ETA, unfortunately, on that mercenary. Cloud Ultimate is curious, are we going to be adding a field of view slider, and are we looking into the idea of adding a first-person player model for the sake of immersion?
Third person?
They said first person, but...
We do have first person.
I think they meant third.
If you meant third, there's no plans at this time. As for a field of view slider, yeah, we could potentially add it. I'm not opposed to doing it. It's just something that we'd add to our huge, epic list of things to get in at some point. But it's a cool idea. I don't see any issues why we wouldn't add it. I don't see anything that would be game-breaking by adding a field of view slider. So... I know, code-wise, it seems like something we could easily tie into the display settings. But yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. But it just gets on. It gets added to the list of things that we have to do.
Yeah,
that's all.
And I mean, when we say that we don't know, it's the reality is that so many of these things are actually tied to code. And, you know, it's difficult to build your own system for things like dedicated servers when you don't already have a framework to work from. You have to figure out all the details yourself. And if your tool set, which Unity provides a set of tools for, doesn't include it or doesn't have a good option for it, then the question then comes up, well, why do you choose it? Well, because Unity, for example, or any engine that you work in, has pros and cons that, for various different reasons, are the reasons that we chose them. And they can include, it's a relatively easy pickup for a small team, the support is great, etc., etc. That being said, when we have three kind of large things all coming in at once, and they are the three things that we've talked about repeatedly today and are mentioned on all of our updates as being works in progress, which are the current counter, which we saw at the beginning today, the character customizer, which we have shown in previous streams, as well as dedicated servers, which you can't really show off, but they are being worked on. Those things they're going to take as long as they're going to take to get in, and get in at a level where when you guys get access to it, it's not causing your game to crash constantly or wipe progress or anything like that, which would be our worst nightmare for you guys, because we're trying to hand to you guys an improvement, not something that is going to wipe you off the face of the earth and get you all pissed off at us, because we like having a happy community as much as you guys like playing a good game and a game that is in good condition. So
So if I can,
Yeah.
it looks like Lux in chat just bought the game, downloaded it, installed it. My only advice would be to take your time. Don't rush out into the forest. I think everybody would agree. Don't pick up your crude axe and expect to kill bears unless you're incredibly adept at dodging attacks. Otherwise, take your time, move along the beach. There's a lot of stuff to find along the beaches, and build your character up over time. Look for little camps. You'll find lots of food and other items that you could use to your advantage and help you survive in this very brutal world, in addition to all the community guides that we have available in our Steam forums, which the community has done a great job of putting together, along with some great maps that you can utilize to kind of gauge where you're at in the world as well. So everybody that's watching right now, we're in the Helion spawn area, one of our epic NPCs that drops the ancient relic blade that you need for the crafting recipe to build the Grey Reaver. Let me see if I can bring that up.
Yeah, and it was actually amazing who actually gave away a copy that I believe she actually had won through one of our previous streams. So thanks to that. Amazing for sharing that. It was really awesome of you.
So the Grey Reaver is right here on screen. You will need night bloom flowers, of course. So along with the ancient relic blade. Boy, I sure made that tough. Yeah, that's why Lycor needs to be tougher. All right. It'd be great if you inflicted poison, too. I think it needs poison, Chloe. Anyway, it's getting dark. I am making some in the next update, guys. I am going to make some changes to the day and night cycle. I'm going to make the transition between dusk, between day and night, a little bit longer. I'm going to shave off a little bit from daytime. I'm going to shave off a little bit more from nighttime. So I think you guys will appreciate that. But the times will all still be the same. It's just I'm shaving off a little bit here to add some here.
Makes sense. Now, yes, there will be a second key giveaway. That's actually what I'm going to head us in towards
let's
next.
try to do 3, Chloe. We got do one now, and then we'll do one at the end. How's that?
All right, that's fine. What's my next keyword? I'll set that up now.
Hold on. Let's do all one word. Grey Reaver.
Reaver.
Yep.
And an E or an A?
Oh, Chloe. It's Grey.
Okay.
Reaver.
Okay.
All one word.
There is actually a reason why I have to clarify both of those statements.
And I get it. I totally get it. So for those that are watching the stream, if they want to know how to spell it, there is the tooltip on the screen. All one word, by the way.
No caps.
No caps. You're good.
Yep. And for those of you who are not necessarily picking up on the joke that is underlying this, I am Canadian, therefore we spell gray a different way than most Americans have learned to spell it. So
there's another way to spell gray?
There is, and it's the correct way. It's only Americans who have learned it, learned spelling that way.
That's how we do things.
Although I will give you guys props for redefining how to spell the word like center because of HTML. Damn you people for changing the R and the E. I just messes me up so many times when I'm formatting blogs and things like that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all right. So, hey, you know what's really funny? I don't think that actually.
It's getting dark. It's getting cold. I gotta go by the campfire.
Okay, folks. We're gonna have to actually run that again because I think my chat box thingy decided it wasn't going to do anything and it didn't track any of your entries. Damn you, Chrome app, you suck. Okay, so if you guys have entered in Grey Reaver into the chat, I am really sorry, but you're going to have to enter it again. It is in there.
See you later, Osiris.
There we go. Okay, it is tracking now. I am so sorry, folks. I don't know what happened there. I shake my fist in this whole stupid chat.
Did you just mess up this whole thing?
No, I didn't mess it up. Google Chrome did. I mean, that right there is kind of the explanation, all the explanation that you need.
All right. Well, let's make sure everybody.
Okay.
I want to make sure everybody gets a fair shake.
It is working now. Don't worry. That everybody's going back in. I'm not. Give everybody a few more moments to re-enter that. I do apologize, folks. This is the wonders of working with technology live. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you go, why? Like, why? All right.
Well-oiled machine.
You know what? We are a well-oiled machine. I blame the apps. I blame the apps.
All right. So we're hanging out here at the Helion spawn. Again, this is one of the epic NPCs in the game. I know if you're new, you're kind of like, what are they doing? Why aren't they doing anything? This is actually a really cool area. This is where one of the big named bosses in the game. By the way, I would like to think that we're one of the few survival games out there that actually have named NPCs that drop really cool loot.
Even though you still can't see their names in the game yet.
Chloe, don't get crazy.
Just finding it out.
We can see player names, and that's what matters.
I know it's a step. It is a step. I do have a
That
question
was a stab in my heart there.
Yeah, like, well, whatever.
My goodness, you're so cruel.
Yeah, well, I got woken up by fire alarm testing for 6 hours this morning. I'm not. Anyway, why does Helion have yellow eyes?
To separate him from Lycor.
I'm asking for a lore drop. Oh my god, do I really have to call that out? Seriously, is there no real reason why?
Each of the different Furies that have been corrupted by Kerr, they're visually. We want to make sure they're visually different. Lycor is visually different from Helion, and it's just a way to separate them, so you know that you run into a unique mob, because the name tags don't appear above like Lycor in classic MMORPG fashion. You just see the visual of the character, and we want to make sure that visual of that model is unique, so when you see it, you go, whoa! Oh, I gotta go kill it. It's a spawn. So I think there's more when you see the unique visual of the creature than when you see its name tag.
I was gonna say, if you were able to roll down the leather collar on Lycor, you would see it stitched into his name, stitched into the collar.
That's funny, Chloe. That's real funny. It's etched into his armor, Lycor.
Well, I mean, there's all the different legionnaires, and you wouldn't want, he probably was terrified that his shit would get stolen by another legionnaire because they like to pranks on each other.
It happens. It totally happens. World.
Okay, I am officially done for today. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna pick. And you're going to do something, and I don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to do something.
I'm going to hang out with
all right.
Up here, because we're sporting the Ebon Steel armor. We're going to keep a lookout over the. We're going to keep a watch over the group to make sure that everybody is okay. What we need is a bard.
We talk about this.
I was like, man, every group's not complete unless we have a bard. Bards just make everything awesome.
All right, and one more for number 5. All right.
I should just add a loot to the game just so that's something.
Would you please? Just random loot that is loot.
Just a loot. Somebody's like, oh, you need a bard? Not a problem.
Pull it out and strum.
There's stamina in the game.
Do you have a magical loot that as soon as it pulls out, it plays something? Ooh.
Will there be things, I'm reading 3D Pixels comment here, Chloe. Yes. Will there be things such as natural disasters or environmental dangers? Environmental dangers come in the form of like the creatures that you fight. I mean, if you're thinking like, you also have to deal with the cold. We have snowstorms, flurries that kind of kick up. So there's that. But if you're thinking like earthquakes, if I could get like 5 more coders, that would be awesome. But we'll see. Werewolves would be kind of a cool thing that would come out at night, but I'd have to think about how they fit into the lore. Why do they make sense for the world? I want to try to build things that make sense, that work with the fiction. So we'll see.
And I am not a natural disaster, Mercury. That's
Now where snowballs and snow forts totally make sense. I totally, that absolutely. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, it would be fun to pelt Kerr with a snowball.
Yes, Ramus, if we could craft or brew mead in the game and then your screen slowly kind of, as you consume the mead, your screen slowly gets distorted would be kind of cool.
Until you puke, like in almost every other RPG game. All right, and on that note, I do have our winners, so I'm going to take this.
Sweet.
Congratulations to Brahms, to L Squared, Peace and War, Jove West, and None Superior. You guys have all picked up copies of the game. If you already have a copy of the game, that's okay. You can share it to a friend, to a follower. If you stream or do Let's Play videos, you can give it away. You can give it to a friend who has expressed interest in the game, and or to someone in chat if they really want it. It is your copy, so please make sure that you message us, and Moobot is about to drop a link into chat with the link to you where you go and message me and all that fun stuff. So thank you very much for joining us, and
congrats.
hope you enjoyed the game.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by and watching Chloe and I and our wacky antics and trying to make these streams a lot of fun for all you guys out there, and trying to lead you on many epic adventures through the Sundered Isle. Next week we'll do something different. We'll go somewhere else. But this week we came to. I just like giving away I want people to get the ancient relic blades. They have the Grey Reaver. Next week we might go somewhere else. Might kill some forest giants. Fun, Lycor. The usual, Chloe.
Indeed, or maybe even Draymar.
Yeah, Draymar. Draymar has moved.
He
you know
really
what?
sucks the life out of you.
By the way. Draymar's, by the way, guys, hopefully you guys, I didn't add it to the notes, but Draymar is the Wanderer. He's moved. His spawns are not the same. Every time I make an update, we're moving moving Draymar. He's going to change every time. So
bloody hell.
Yeah, I like to have fun with him. He's always on different areas of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The Wanderer.
All right. Maybe next week you could show how to get the Ripper.
Well, I could, but Devlin Pixie and a few others have actually found the Ripper. Okay, just kidding. Okay, I got it now. But I'm just saying, there are individuals in our community that have found the Flesh Ripper, have put together a list of tactics or strategies to go out and get the Flesh Ripper. I've also spiced up that area a little bit too, so I didn't mention that in the patch notes.
Your version of patch notes to my version of patch notes are really quite different.
Everything's everything's a surprise. I'm all about surprises. I like to surprise and delight, Chloe. It's like I'm all about surprising and delighting the community. That's all. That's how I roll.
Yes, but it's much easier for them to be surprised and delighted if they have an idea that something has been changed. I'm just saying.
That's no fun.
Oy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the point where Chris starts to give me another migraine.
All right. So
anyway.
I did mention, too, one of the big changes in the game was that the Flesh Ripper, which is one of the more rare hammers in the game, was changed to be the best hammer that you could use to mine items. I increased its efficiency to 4, which means that you're going to just smash rocks to smithereens really quickly. So it's definitely one of those weapons you want to have in your arsenal when you're out mining rocks in the world to get the components you need to forge weapons and armor. Just throwing that out there.
No comment. All right. So we are about 5 minutes away from the end of the stream. In fact, we're actually about 3 minutes away from the end of the stream. Was there anything else that you wanted to say, to do before we start the wrap up and I do one more giveaway at the end and all that fun stuff?
No, I'll do, we'll let this finish out. Hopefully like Helion Lycor. Helion will spawn a few more times or spawn one more time before we conclude our stream here. For those individuals that I'm looking at right now on the other side of the island, I apologize. I wish I had some type of dev tools in the release branch that would allow me to summon you to this location, but unfortunately I don't. So I'm sorry that you guys didn't make it, but I do appreciate you guys stopping by. So that's it. I don't have anything else to say until we come to our final, until we come to the end, Chloe. But I am really hungry.
Yes, you are.
I could use some bear meat right now.
You might actually want to go move closer to the fire as well.
Nah, I'm gonna live life dangerously. I'm at 22%. I'm good. I got 23% hunger. I'm good. I'm gonna live life really dangerously right now. People are
okay.
It's crazy.
And one thing, just because Invictus is trying to figure out how to get sinew, one of the things that is always interesting to me when I'm watching streams of people who are just sort of getting their feet wet is they often miss the strong sinew recipe in the actual crafting menu. And of course, as you all know, that is probably the easiest way to actually get strong sinew is not to find it, but to craft it by combining 3 regular types of sinew together to actually make strong sinew. So it's something that I'm watching feedback on very carefully in terms of when people are trying to make different items, how much they struggle with those things where, you know, we don't have in game right now because our UI is still a little rough and things, you know, we're looking at different ways to improve that. Is, you know, this is an item that is a component of, is not listed anywhere just because we have only so much screen real estate. That being said, if you guys have not checked out the wiki, here's my little slide into that. Those kinds of pieces of information absolutely are listed on the wiki. And the wiki right now basically has almost every single piece of information that is available in this game, and a ton more beside, because we have some incredible contributors, namely Devlin and Sean for the English version, who sit through all of our streams and go back through all of our videos and add in lore drops and bits of information that will, you know, make your game experience a little bit better. We are also actively transferring or translating the wiki into additional languages. So if you speak another language natively and would like to help us translate, that would be something that we'd really appreciate. Right now we have some people contributing towards French, German, Russian, I think, is the third. So we have those plus English that are all in some form or fashion being translated. So if you speak any of those, or if you have another language that you speak and you want to contribute, we would love your support for that. And if you want to get started, you can actually just message either Sean or Devlin on the wiki when you go to the section that talks about how to translate. They're listed there, so you can get their help in getting yourself set up.
So, if I can chime in real quick, Chloe?
Yep, go for it.
I'm giving away spirit orbs, so you guys in the stream, if you want a spirit orb, come over to me. For those that are nearby, of course. Spirit orbs, they're great. They actually heal you over time. They will cure disease. In the next update, they will also cure poison as well, because I'm going to add a poison to a few more creatures in the world. And I will also increase their duration as well. So now's a great time. If you've already have one in the stream, if you guys are in the world, great. Please leave them here for other players. But I dropped a few in the world. Pick them up. They do deteriorate. Spirit orbs, as you hold them in your hand, you consume the energy of those orbs. And essentially, you consume the magics that those orbs have. But they will heal you, they will cure you of disease, and they will, in the next update, cure you of poison as well. So pick them up.
All right. And just going to start the run of things that sort of wraps us up as we are hitting 2:30. Another great resource for you players is the Savage Lands Trello board, and that is the place where, if you are interested in what has been suggested, what we are considering in some form or fashion, if you want to have a conversation about how you would like to see an item, or sorry, an idea implemented, that is the place for that kind of conversation. It is a separate website, very easy to to register. You get the ability to comment, you get the ability to make your own suggestions in sort of one corralled spot, and then you can comment on anything that's currently being worked on, as well as, and of course most importantly, you get the ability to vote for something that you would like to see added or not. Interesting fact, the female character request finally broke the top 10 last week for overall requests of things, so I have to admit I'm very pleased about that. It has been hovering on the edge. It was in like the number 11 spot for almost a month, so yay! Thank you for everybody sharing your support for that. It is something that we definitely want to get in, and it will come sort of in the phase 2 mark of custom characters, but I was all pleased when I saw that come out this week, so yay! As well as there are other things in there like dungeons and mines, or you know how you want something else implemented for a host option when it comes to dedicated servers. So definitely take a look at those and add your voices to the votes and things like that. As well as if you're looking for information on us, you can find us here on Twitch every Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific. Just click the follow button when you get to our channel or our profile page, and you will be notified when we go live. If you click follow on Steam, you also get our notifications. They will actually give you a prompt on Thursdays for the start of the stream with a little pop-up. Very non-spammy. You will also get our announcements when we update the game, so we try not to do too many announcements either, because again, we don't like spamming. And of course, if you were just looking for information, you can find it in sort of one of 3 spots, which is savagelandsgame.com, our official website. We have a blog on there. It always has the most up-to-date information, as well as Twitter at SavageLandsGame, and Facebook, facebook.com SavageLandsGame. You can tell what our gaming convention is. So, with that, I will hand it off to Chris. And Chris, you are required to give me my 3rd and final giveaway keyword.
Keyword. 3rd and final. I know, Chloe. I'm just so much fun.
No comment.
All right. So, what are we gonna? What is the magical word that we're going to use? You know what I think we're gonna use? Signal.
Signal. All right.
How's that?
Sure.
No,
that works. Very simple.
Signal is the key word. S. Hold on. I'll right behind me. Signal, lowercase. There you go. All right, guys. I saw Lux died. I'm sorry. The Savage Lands managed to consume you. But don't give up. There's a lot of great, we have a great community, a lot of good players that will help you out. And there's good guides. It's a brutal game. As many of you know, I say that every stream. It's a brutal world. But once you get past kind of that early phase, much like you would in any survival situation where you are just picking yourself up, you're in a loincloth, you have an axe, you have some cured meat, and a tattered bag with some apples. Making your way through the world and building yourself up to be something epic. You too could be like this individual here, Vivet, in ebon steel with a gray reaver and a torch.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
I love this game. So, with that, cool. Everybody's throwing signal out there and a death marker. Yeah, we got the death marker is, hopefully that helps.
Yes.
Full ebon steel. Forged from the blood of Kerr. Well, not really. That'll be something else.
No comment.
Come on, Chloe. I crank you up. You know, these are awesome. You love hanging out with me.
Sure, Chris. We can go with that.
Every week you're like, oh, it's Thursday. Thank goodness we get to do our stream today, and I get to hang out with Chris while he acts like a goofball dev talking about the game. I can't wait. right? No? All right.
But it's cute that you tried. All right, I have my winners. So congratulations to Marco 7100, Deviants, Old Glories, Laser Tag Rocks, and Holy Skies. Or Holy Skies. Sorry, there's no apostrophe. Will we be able to drink Kerr's blood?
I think that actually, you know what? I should allow you to eat Kerr's heart and then make, come up with some really cool random effects like decayed flesh. But really cool, like epic, like you can kill things in one hit type of thing, or you will die instantly. That would be pretty cool. You have an interesting definition of really cool. It's my world. In my head, I see it. I can see it all playing out.
Oh, it is absolutely your world. There is no question or what's the other word? I don't know. Nobody's questioning that it's your world. Absolutely.
See, it's kind of, you know, to me, the Sundered Isle is kind of like the island from Lost. It always calls to me every morning, Chris, I need you to log in. I need you to come and sync up. I need more stuff put into the world. Can you remove these rocks over in this area? Chris. I know. I'm too close to the game. My coaster's died. But I love the game. It's a good game. I love working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my version of the island from Lost. Anyway.
Right. Well,
there you go. There's Deep Thoughts with Chris Rubior.
Do you have any final things to say while you're staring at the campfire, all pensive like?
Yes. So hold on. Now that we're here at the campfire, the men and women are out and about killing things, getting fine meats, and here we are at the Helion Spawn. I will end with thank you all for supporting us as developers. We greatly appreciate it. The team is working very hard to make a great experience, and your feedback is much appreciated. And we love doing these streams. We love making this game for you guys, so thank you. And those guys have been around, those guys and gals. When I say guys, I mean everybody. It's kind of like a gender neutral there, by the way. Thank you all for supporting the game and being part of this experience, and hopefully you guys like what you see.
Absolutely.
And you're enjoying this cool bus ride. What, Chloe?
I said thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Chloe will be here next week. We're going to be doing a sale next week.
Yes,
so if you are undecided, if you want to pick up Savage Lands, next week, starting on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, will be the best.
Or whenever Steam turns it on.
Whenever Steam turns it on, because we got to, Steam is Steam. It'll be a great time to pick up the game and get in relatively at a good price and have fun and be part of this experience as the game evolves. And we'll have some great updates, we'll have some okay updates, but you'll be part of this experience. You'll be part of an amazing community, and I think you'll have a ton of fun. So anyway, thank you, everybody out there. I appreciate it, and I'm going to go have a conversation with the Sundered Isle after this.
Chris, I think we need to. I think you might need some time off from the Sundered Isle.
I do need. Actually, I wouldn't mind taking another weekend and just playing some games that are not Savage Lands.
Might be a good idea. Anyway.
Might be a good idea.
On that note, thank you once again, everybody, for joining us today and for always joining us, those of you who make it in repeatedly. We really, really, really do value your feedback, your suggestions, your bug reports. We have a brand new game update for you today, so make sure that if you do see something that's kind of hinky, you report that. Please use the build number when you're reporting, although at this point everybody's on the same build, so it doesn't really matter. We appreciate your time, we appreciate your support, and we hope that you're enjoying this crazy ride that we're on.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to our mods who do a great job of organizing our posts and making it very easy for us to, on the dev side, to sort through feedback and bugs. And our mod team, I got to give a shout out to our mod team, Devlin Pixie, Sean, Kryzak, and everybody does a great job of making sure all of our, the information is sorted in such a way that I don't have to spend 5 hours looking at it. I can spend 10 minutes and answer posts. So our mod team is great, guys. You got to give them a lot of props. They do an amazing job. Along with our community team, Chloe. Everybody give a shout out to Chloe because Chloe is awesome. Chloe is the glue that binds. Without her, it would just be a crazy madhouse. And thank you, Chloe, for being so awesome.
Well, thank you for giving me something to do.
That's right. She's kind of my wrangler. She kind of reels me in.
That's the play with what you could call it.
Keeps me in line, and this has been a lot of fun, guys. And until next week, thank you guys very much for stopping by. Hopefully, please, if you guys are new to the game or you're just checking out the patch or you old schoolers, let me know if you see, let me know if you see a frame rate increase and if you see any performance improvements, or if you see a drop in performance. I really want to know, because we really worked hard at trying to optimize the game a bit so that you guys can have a smooth experience. But we definitely want to know if you're having trouble. Please
let us know.
Please let us know. It's the only way we're going to keep making this game better is hearing from you, the player base. So with that, shall I figure out how to shut this thing off as always?
Indeed.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'm shutting down the server. I apologize greatly to everybody here, but thank you so much for showing up. I'm going to go to the main screen, Chloe. All right, guys, until next week, and keep in mind, next week we have a sale, so starting on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Steam, you'll want to pick up Savage Lands 4-pack or single. But nonetheless, thank you, guys. We will see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
I'm working on
Bye,
this
guys.
one.